who knew when we were going to be in our late 40s and 50s, the journey that we would be on. I'm mainly going to focus on makeup and skincare right now, but we're going to throw in a little bit of kids and parents, and the journeys that we're on is something that I don't think any of us were prepared for. Hi guys, I'm Sonia. I've been in the beauty industry since I've been 19 years old. I was the kid that was always doing the makeup and the hair for whatever reason, playing around. And I went to beauty school right out of high school, and I had been a beautician with an active license ever since then. You do the math, I'm 55, I'm gonna be 56 this year. So I've always loved all things beauty. So when I got into my late 40s and makeup wasn't quite sitting right anymore, I really didn't want to give up makeup. I kind of did give up makeup. I just got to where I was wearing mascara, black eyeliner, tried to fill in my brows, which that was a hot mess, and was really simplifying and searching. Really didn't have much of a skincare routine. There was just a whole lot that was going on. But I really had given up on a lot of things probably, but makeup was one of them. But I didn't want to give up, so I kept searching. So I have my old basket of makeup. So this is my new palette of makeup. Everything fits in here. My eyeshadow, all my lip and cheek, my contour, my bronzer, my illuminator. Everything I need is right here into this palette. And it went from this. So I didn't have, I have a basket of makeup. I had belonged to one of those things where you get monthly subscriptions to makeup, which was really kind of fun. But it just accumulated and accumulated and accumulated. And this is the one, oh my gosh, it's so dusty. This is the one that sent me over the edge. Being a cosmetologist, I'm like, well, I'll just go to the cosmetology store and get some makeup. It's got to be better. And I really wanted it all in one place because I was going to Uganda. And so I got this one, and you can see how much I loved it. It slid though. I mean, how did this work? It slid open, which was really kind of not unique right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, it slid open. Let me pull it open. It just broke. And all the things were in here, okay? This edge fell off. Oh wait, look, I used all that color. I was not happy with it because I didn't like all the colors. As you can see, I liked that light color, and I liked a little bit of this one, and I liked maybe a little bit of the other one, but it wasn't what I wanted. And so when I got home from Uganda, I just really got on the search for one palette makeup, and over 50, everything. I just kept searching and searching and searching. And I saw this cute little gal. She was on Facebook. Let me put this down here before I knock it off. She was on Facebook, and she was talking about hooded eyes, which I have. You mad, bro? I always look mad. And mature skin, and how to apply it differently. And there was this cream makeup in one palette. And I was like, what? And so I got a color match. And in that color match, I got matched to my colors because that was a huge thing. I was going to the stores and trying to figure out, what is my color? Why is it settling in my lines under my eyes? My pores are popping. It's making me look dead. I don't look good. All the things. And she color matched me. I used it and I was hooked like that. Like right now, I was like, this is cool. Plus I had her. She was my artist. I could ask her questions, and I could watch her on social media like you are me right now. So that started me on this journey in 2020 of going, well, I'll just be an artist because I want everyone to know about it. And here I am. And I'm still here sharing all the things that I love. So I don't bring anything to you that I don't love. I test it out. And if I don't love it, I just don't talk about it. So I have a few things I've added. I've added some skincare that I really took a long time to search. It's a Korean skincare. That was what I was putting under my eyes. I have that on since this morning and love it. It's a K-Beauty brand, and I love this. And there's just, if I'm sharing it, I love it. I just did my eyelashes, well, a little bit of my eyelashes in my stories if you want to go watch that. Okay, so let's start first. I'm going to start with my face, and I'm going to do my eyes last. So I don't have eye primer on, but I did do my brows, and I hydrated my under eyes because sometimes I forget, and I want my under eyes hydrated. So as an older lady, there are things that we need to do to help not get added texture. So This might be a little bit longer than what I normally do because I just want to tell you the things that you need to think about with your face when you are an older lady. So we have texture, and that's what's bothering us. We have the under eye wrinkles. Our pores get bigger sometimes on our nose. We add them here and here. I never had that before. And then the acne scarring and those things start showing up that maybe you didn't have before. The melasma, there's all these things that start coming that you don't know what to do with. And the biggest thing I think is the settling in the lines. So we're going to attack that, okay? So skincare is super, super, super important. The canvas that you're doing, I would say skincare is more important than makeup. They can be hand in hand in your daily thing, but skincare is going to be super important. If at any time you want to know what I'm using, I'm not demonstrating it right now. I have other videos on it. If you comment K Beauty, the letter K and beauty right afterwards, I can give you what I'm using. It is the most healing skincare, hydrating and healing and protective skincare that I have ever used. I used a lot of stuff because I have redness and I had sensitivity and I jacked up my skin barrier, and this has been the best for my skin. So that first is the first thing that I'm going to do. It gives you confidence too. It gives you confidence that when you're not wearing makeup, that your skin looks amazing. Amazing. Okay. So when you are going to do your skin or do your makeup, we're going to look at things differently, as in you're going to consider your areas of darkness and pores and texture. So we're going to approach it as a minimal amount of makeup. That's my first thing, is you need to use less makeup than what you've used in the past. It's does not mean you're going to sacrifice the look that you do. And it's so easy to do with this cream makeup. If anytime you're going to want match to your colors like what I got to a palette, your palette's going to look different than mine. It doesn't have to be that big either. You can even start like this. They have a bazillion different little palettes. Comment match me. I'll send you a link. You fill something out. You upload a selfie and I will help you. So I'm going to first look at my face and I'm going to be like, what do I need to do to help get coverage and look good and look like I love my skin and have makeup on? So I'm going to take this color here, and it's a little bit darker, and that's going to be your first thing. If you have redness, if you have darkness, if you have bigger pores and all the things that I'm talking about, you have to use a darker shade. You're either going to have to use a little bit darker shade all over, or you're going to have to use a darker shade in those areas. I can do a little bit of both, but I'm going to take a brush and you're going to do pressing. You're not going to sweep. Not very often can we sweep because our faces move. So we're going to do a pressing motion, and I'm going to take this color, which is mango for me, just got too much, and I'm just going to tap it in my red areas only. I like to put it on my nose too. And I'm going to tap it on my cheek and a little bit on my chin. See how my chin has broken capillaries and it has some acne scarring? This is the shape brush, if you want to know. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put a little bit here on my under nose. I don't know what else to call it. It's my under nose. Okay, my nose holes, everybody's are red. I don't know why they're red, but they're red. So just get a little bit of that coverage on there, whether it's your main shade or that darker shade, get it on there. And do you see how that just evened out my complexion? And it's not a lot of makeup. It's still dewy and it's radiant and it's so pretty. See, the skincare is doing its job and the makeup is not taking away from that. It's just adding to it, okay? So that was that shade. I don't usually wear a full face of makeup. I'm going to be honest. This down here underneath my cheekbones, I tend to not wear any makeup, okay? Today I'm going to, because I'm just going to demonstrate a full face for you. So this shade here, which I was digging in, I'm going to take and put it on the rest of my face. So if you're new to Seint, I've color matched you. This is going to be a perfect video for you if you like a full face. I have nothing on my forehead. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to tap. I'm a tappy person on my forehead. My skin is still tight for the moment. I'm going to do a little bit of sweeping. And then I am going to sweep or tap a little bit right here. Okay, because remember I didn't have any of that darker shade there. So I've used 2 different shades. Some of us can use 1. And it depends. And this is how you're going to get that skin-like makeup look. You're tapping it on. You're using very little. Did you see when I went like this? That's all the makeup I have on that brush. I'm no swiping. You don't need to do that. And by doing that and tapping it on, then you're going to even out your complexion and you're going to get the look that you want and you're not going to sacrifice anything. Okay, so then we're going to use bronzer and contour next. So bronzer and contour aren't the same thing. Bronzer is going to warm your face up. It's going to look like you've been out in the sun. You got a sun-kissed look. So we're going to do forehead. We're going to do cheeks. You could even do a little bit of your nose. I have a little white area here that I tend to put bronzer on. And then contour is going to chisel out your features. So I love this color Bella there. And we're going to tap into that one. And I'm just going to add it to the top of my forehead. Like so, and that's going to add dimension, like I said, and a little bit of a sun-kissed look. Do you see how that's... I love Bella. I love Bella. Bella is so good. Like, you're like, oh no, I got too much. It does not matter. It's like this translucent brownish. It does have a little bit of an orangey look to it, but it really looks nice. We have different ones if you feel like you're super fair-skinned and you don't want this one. But look at that. Look at the look that you get. I'm even just going to take a little bit and stick it on my nose because I'm going to be like, oh man, the sun really kissed me. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit down here. I did a video the other day, ADD. I did a video the other day. I had this off-the-shoulder shirt and I had white straps from my bathing suit when I was in Cabo. I totally bronzed it up and it was so good. It evened everything out. It was so good. Okay, cream makeup. The thing that's nice about it is it moves with your face. It doesn't dry down and soak into your face. So that's where you're going to get your difference between your liquid and your cream. And it's easy to customize because I can pop these out. It's magnetic. I can, well, take something and pop it out. You can take something like this. You pop these out and then you add whatever you need and customize, you know, from winter to summer or your eyeshadows. You remember that palette that I just showed you? And I used one color. How do I get that one color when only is in that palette? You don't have that with this makeup. You pop those out and then you just replace that eyeshadow, which is a cost savings, honestly. And our eyeshadows are nice and big, which is so good. Okay, so I'm going to contour. I'm going to grab a different brush. All of our brushes are double-ended. So I'm going to grab the detail brush, which is a funky looking thing, and I'm going to tap it into my contour. And no, I'm going to use the other end. Okay, and I'm going to get it right on there. And then I'm just going to create a little bit of chiseling out of my features. Create a little bit of lift. If you're mature like me, go high on the contour. Just guess high. Like you're right underneath the cheekbone and stop at the outer edge of the eye, meaning don't come in any further because we tend to be sinking in. A little bit of chiseling. Don't overthink it. Don't freak out. Don't worry about it. Just chisel out those cheeks. You can even put it on your forehead if you want. And then we're going to go, I'm going to do under eyes. You guys have noticed you don't have it in Germany yet. I know you don't. We're coming to, I can't remember. There's a couple different countries we're coming to. I'm sure you guys are on the agenda. So we are in Canada, UK, and the US right now, and we're coming to Australia, and there was another place that we're coming to. So you can, yeah, I'm sorry. We're coming. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. And even if you can't get it where you're at, try to apply these principles to what you have there. So, okay, so you notice I haven't done my under eyes yet. If you have dark under eyes, I really do suggest do your makeup and then do your makeup and then go to your under eyes, because if you have under eye darkness, it bothers you and you'll focus on it. You'll hyper focus on it. When you do this, it'll distract from it and then you can go in and do that. Okay, so let's see. What did I do? I did contour and bronzer, and let's do the under eyes next. So when you have under eye darkness, which I think most of us have, you will color correct instead of conceal. And then I actually darken my pockets of white that are next to my under eye darkness. Right here, I will darken this area right there. Actually, let me grab my other brush. And the reason I do that is this can look so dark because this is so light. And by darkening that, it's reverse makeup. Just like what I just did. Everything about being over 50, you're going to flip it on its head. Almost everything. You're going to flip it on its head. You're not going to use any light concealer under your under eyes. you're not going to put light on redness and darkness to lighten it up. You're actually going to put dark to make it recede back and to not add texture. Okay, you're going to get a beautiful skin-like look. So the under eyes, we're actually going to color correct, and I'm going to use this color Frenchie, and I'm going to put it on the end here, and that was too much, but I'll just tap a little bit here and here. Now I have some purple, and that peach color does not always take care of my purpley. It does take care of my blue and a little bit of my green. So this is a lip and cheek color. We have other things that you can use for your under eye darkness, but a peachy or an orangey shade is really great. And by color correcting, instead of concealing, you can use less makeup. Now, if you can put a concealer on that darkness, I would use a darker concealer. Meaning, this is what I mean, okay? You pull out a tube of concealer, right? If you're using a really light shade, it makes it look gray, and you know that, and it adds texture. Grab a darker, either your face shade or a little bit darker than your face concealer, put on the under eye darkness, or better yet, you need to color correct it and then add a little bit of concealer over it. And then you're really going to be able to correct it and get the look that you're looking for. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of my concealer dark shade, and I'm going to tap over top of the peach, like so. And then for some of you, you might be able to take that and fill it in right there. Take that darker concealer and maybe you can tap it here. And maybe it's just your color of your face. Maybe it's a darker concealer like you've been playing with to cover up your darkness. And you might be able to blend in those pockets of darkness. What I do is I take bronzer, and sometimes I mix it with a darker concealer. Don't lose me here. Don't zone out, okay? If there's anything you can do, if your under eyes are an issue for you, I see people that I get color match and they'll have just this darkness right here. And what you do is you put makeup everywhere. Don't do that. Color correct just the darkness and then fill in around it with a little bit of your bronzer. I use either my Bella or I use suede lip liner, which is, they're not going to carry it anymore. It's okay. I'm going to take suede lip liner, just a little bit of Bella, and we're just going to tap a little bit of it on in my pockets of white that's next to my under eye darkness. Okay. While I'm doing that, y'all, can we just say that being over 50, I had no idea in this, I'm just, hang with me here just for a second, what it was going to be like to be over 50. And for your kids to grow up, your parents to get older and maybe pass away, and then menopause. Okay? All right, there. That got the under eyes, and see how that just kind of, and you're going to have to play with it. You're going to have to play with either that dark concealer, a little bit of bronzer, suede lip liner. Just get a color that fills in those pockets of white and does the job that you want it to do. Okay, let's do a little bit of blush. Blush placement matters. Everything that I do is I use less makeup. You can comment match me. Hi guys, I see a bunch of new people coming on. You can comment match me and I can match you to your shade. Everything I do is less makeup, and it's for lift and dimension. Everything I do. And some of the things we have to flip on our head, and we have to stop thinking like we used to think. So you can see, like, I don't have a lot of makeup on, but everything's looking pretty good. Like it's looking very lifted. It's looking like skin, but better. So, okay, let's put a little bit of blush on. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I thought about using Cindy and Black Cherry. I think I'm actually going to use Tropicana. It's a coral color. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of Black Cherry in. I know. Why would you mix Black Cherry in with that? I don't know, because I want to. I'm a mixer. When I used to do my color formulas as a hairdresser, you probably wouldn't like doing my people, because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to I did an ounce of 7, and then I did a dollop of 6, and then I did another dollop of, it really is what I do. So I like tapping in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But blush placement, what you want to do is it needs to be high on that cheekbone. And it needs to really just be a flushing of the cheeks, okay? Little tap there on the front. 1, 2, 3, upside down triangle. The best thing I ever learned was that little trick. Okay, so let's take a little bit of this. Okay, make sure that just kind of blends in. Thing with cream makeup is you cannot make a mistake. If you get your contour too low, not a big deal. You just, let me make sure this brush is clean. You take a brush with your, it's so easy to fix. Take your highlight, your foundation shade, go like this, clean it up. It's so easy. It's not easy to do with a powder. Tried to do it. Does not work. Doesn't work. You have to like wash your face. So the creams are so forgiving, honestly. All right, blush is on, and now I'm going to go to my brightening shade. Many of you call this your concealer. Concealer, we're not going to conceal with anything light anymore, so I don't like using that terminology, but I know that you guys are used to calling it that. I like to take a brush like what I just had, like the smudge brush, or even that fluffy end of the spot brush. But let's just use this. I should have cleaned my brushes. Okay, I'm going to take this, and it doesn't matter which one. Smudge brush, doesn't matter. They're both dense. I'm going to take my brightening shade, put a little bit on, and I'm going to create a little bit of lift here. I'm going to do my eyes here. So if you want to hang and see hooded eyes, okay, we're going to lift there. We're going to lift there. And that was what I typically do after my eyeshadow. I make sure that I don't get my eyeshadow too low. I'm going to add a little bit here to the top of my cheek. This is the color Palace. I just started using it. And I only use very little in here. I was using white peach. This is a little bit maybe more subtle. I only use a little bit in here. So I got a lot going on, okay? I have sinking in here. And then very close to that, I have very deep nasolabial folds. So I am very careful on this. Light is going to create lift. Remember, we're creating lift. So everything that I'm doing, I want to lift this area. I can put a little bit in that area. I want to lift my cheeks. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do some reverse contouring. I'm going to take this light color and I'm going to go underneath my contour. And that just helps chisel out my cheekbones. I don't have much of a cheekbone, honestly. They're not very full. You can even put a little bit here if you're sinking in. I mean, again, anything you want to bring forward, you stick a little bit of light to. I do like to take a little bit of this and feather in. That was my main highlight shade, and feather in my blush. Okay, so let's get to, oh my gosh. These highlights for me, you see the amount of makeup that I'm using. One time I tracked it in my very darkest shade that I use, which is really half of my face. It lasted me 6 months, and I know they last me longer than that now because I just use less and less makeup. So the darkest shade, I'm going to say 6 months. They say 3 to 4. I'm going to say they last me 6 months. Brightening shade's going to last you a year because you use so little of it. So really it depends on how often you do your makeup, and it depends on how heavy you do your makeup. And they last for a long time. It's not a very good business plan. It's not a very good business plan because they last forever. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of Palace here in my sinking because, again, light lifts. Light attracts the eye. So I want that to be lifted out instead of sinking in. And that just helps play with it a little bit. You're welcome. And guys, if you're on here and I miss anything that you guys say, I'm putting that Palace in here. Please reach out to me, DM me, because I'm trying to do all the things, and I am 55. So, you know, my multitasking is not as good as it used to be. So let's get to eyes. So everything, just as a recap, think backwards on your makeup. You need to go darker than probably what you are thinking that you need to do. Think everything is lifting. We need to add a little bit of bronzer for some dimension. You don't have to contour if you don't want, but if you want to, that'll give you a little bit of chiseling in some certain areas. Remember, less is best. Under eyes, only color correct, only where you need it. You don't need it across your under eyes. And we are no longer doing a light concealer on anything, ever, again. Okay, all right, let's go to under eyes. I'm going to use an eye primer. Did I say under eyes? Hooded eyes. Hooded eyes. Okay, so hooded eye, as you can see, I have hooded eyes. I've been accused of not having hooded eyes, which makes me laugh. I'm like, thank you. I'm just doing a good job then in my makeup. So I know I have eyelashes on and that really helps. So you need to do mascara for sure because that will really help you. And we're going to put a little bit of this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, the color Eden. The name is dumb. Hi, Heidi. Well, thank you. You are so sweet. You can come on every one of my lives and tell me that. Okay, so we're going to do eye primer. You have to do eye primer. This one helps with oil, and that's why I very first started using it. And it helps your eyeshadow to pop. So if you have trouble with oil in your eyelids like I used to, I don't even know if I would anymore, but I would have it all settle in my crease, and I would have to take my fingernail and scrape it out. Well, that's silly pants. We don't need to do that anymore. So use eye primer and then put your eyeshadow right on. Okay, so I have a lot. I love eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow. I love everything here. I love lip and cheeks. I love so much. But I'm going to keep my eyes, I've been keeping my eyes fairly simple. What you need to do for hooded eyes is, it's strategy. You need to take this brush is actually on sale. This is the Blur brush. I'm going to use it, and then I might switch to the eyeshadow. They're double-ended, as you can see. It's strategy, and the strategy is you need to lift, and you need to create a fake crease. So this right here is my natural crease is right there. See that fold? And we want to get it higher than that, because let me show you what happens if you only get it there. I wanted to use basic. Do I have yes, I have basic in here. Basic is the most beautiful basic brown color that everyone should have. So that, or you can have Cafe is another one. Okay, this is a basic brown. And I'm going to put it in my crease. Let me use my smaller eyeshadow brush so I don't get it too high. Where did I throw? I do this all the time. Where did I throw it? Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to look at myself and I'm going to do what I used to do. This one's more hooded than this one. Okay, I'm going to do what I used to do because I didn't have any idea. I would go like this because blah, 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 blah. And that's made sense. And so I'm going to do that. I should have done darker color. And then I went like this and it did absolutely nothing. Let my skin settle. And then it did nothing for me because it was completely gone. You just need to create a fake crease, and all you need to do is get higher. That's all you need to do. Higher. See how difference that made? That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do that one thing with your hooded eyes. Flip it. Wait, I'm going to use this one. Flip this one over. Tap it in on the end. Tilt your head up if you want. I do. And just simply go like that above your crease. Okay? And you can even just use one eyeshadow color if you kind of have a light to medium shade. Go like that. It's still in the crease, above the crease. Go out on the edge, like so. I even use a piece of paper sometimes. And look at the difference. Like, see what magic that is? It's such a different thing. So the same thing on the other side. We can tilt our head up or just look at yourself even and kind of close your eye and just mark it. Look in the mirror and mark it. Like, and then you're like, oh, there it is. Ooh, there it is. I don't even know what song that is. Okay, so we're going to do this and we're just going to keep playing. Don't make it mud. Don't go all the way up to your brow. Just keep it above your eyebrow or above your crease, like so. And then I like to fill a little bit in right here. Okay, the piece of paper trick. If you want to go beyond what we're just talking about, tap into that color. Whatever color you pick needs to be medium to dark. I would pick medium. And you're going to go like this. And I went from the corner of my eye to the tail of my brow. This is one of the best things you're ever going to do for your eyeshadow. And then don't go up to the brow because you're not going to go too low and drag your eye down because that is poop. We don't want that. Okay, so see that right there? If I use a darker color, it'll help. Hang on. Let me use a little bit of a darker shade just to show you. This, I'm going to grab, this is just Sedona. I love Sedona. And I'm just going to do this with a little bit darker shade so you can see the difference. So see how that's all I'm doing. And then you see the lift. So you can kind of get a wing effect if you want it, but you don't have to. Like, you don't have to do a wing effect. I mean, you can kind of soften it up a little bit. So let's do that on the other side. So let's take a piece of paper that's dirty and nasty. Grab whatever you got, right? I mean, it's just here. I don't know what else I've grabbed. I've grabbed gas receipts before in the car. Take it from the corner of your eye to the tail of your brow, like so. Hold it with your other hand. Take the eyeshadow here and just sweep it. And everybody has a different eye shape, so you find out your placement, okay? And we'll be good to go. And then take it off, and then you're like, voila, look at that gorgeousness. And then you can just deepen it out a little bit right there. And you can tap. My eyelid, especially this one, is getting more crepey. It'll kind of move, and so when you'll skip, like you go to put it on your eyelid, and it'll like hop because some sunk in because it's getting so crepey. That's okay. Just tap it then. There's always a solution. There's always a solution. That's why I didn't give up. There's always a solution. Okay, so hooded eyes. Am I happy? I don't know. Am I happy? I don't even have anything on my mobile lid. I'm actually going to smoosh some of that basic onto my mobile lid. And let's see what we're going to do when we get all done. Maybe I won't do anything. Okay, so I do have two colors. And if you can see what they look like. Okay. Isn't that pretty? And it's easy. Like, I just want to give you the confidence to do the hooded eyes and do your eyeshadow, because I do think it's one of the more hard things to do. I do. Make sure you wear mascara. And if you're going to do eyeliner, let me show you where you need eyeliner. If you're going to do eyeliner, you need to get it down into your eyelashes. So right down into your eyelashes. So, because that'll help your eyelashes to look thicker. I don't wear eyelash or mascara on the bottom because I'm too lazy. What am I going to do here? I don't think I'm going to put anything else on my lid. I think I want you guys to see that you don't have to, really overcomplicate it. Again, this was a light to medium shade depending on your skin tone that I just used. And then I did add a little bit of Sedona. Whatever colors you pick. I can help you pick if you want to. Okay, so the eyes are, am I done? Or guess I'm done. Okay, let's put a little something on our lips. So our blushes can be used on the lips. So if you have stuff at home and you have a lipstick that you love, like in a tube, you have a tube of lipstick and you love it, try it on your cheeks, because cream, well, just buy Seint. But if you don't want to, or if you're in Germany and you can't get it yet, use it on your lips because it is life-changing. Okay, so I'm going to take and mix exactly what I put on my cheeks, which was Tropicana and Black Cherry, and I'm going to put it on my lips. Let's just see what we get. So here's that. Tropicana, I think, is a semi-gloss. We have different finishes. See how some of them are more shiny than others? We have semi-gloss, gloss, and satin. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of Black Cherry. I think Black Cherry is one of our top sellers. Can you see why? Isn't that pretty? Now for longevity, if you guys, I get this asked a lot. I don't always powder and I don't always use setting spray, but I know a lot of you like to, and I know some of you really humid, hot climates, you're like, please, for the love of everything, help me out here, right? I just got asked yesterday, what's your favorite powder? It really, truly is our Vanilla Dust. We have a feather blotting dust. It is so pretty, but if you're putting this on for oiliness, I like the Vanilla Dust a little bit better. And I do exactly my application. Shoot, where is, oh, there it is. My powder brush. I just take a little bit and I put very, very little. Keep in mind, everything you're doing is not much, okay? Less is best. Same thing with powder, because if you put a bunch of powder on, what's going to happen is it's going to look creasy and cakey and icky, and you're going to hate it. So I tap a lot in. I tap in a lot, and then because I get less on the brush. Okay, that's it. There. And then I do have a setting spray that I love. So my skincare company that I told you that I love, my skincare is a K-Beauty brand. They just came out with a Set and Stay set makeup spray. And I love it. I really do. Now, well, I'm just going to do this one. I'm not going to confuse y'all. The mister is amazing. I want y'all to see this. Watch this, okay? Watch how it just... Did you see that goodness? And it has skincare in it. So if you want that, you have to let me know. I can help you with that. And it dries super fast, but it has skincare in it. It helps set your makeup, but it will give you a very pretty finish, a dewy finish. I love it. It's really nice. It has a very clean smell to it. All right. I'm going to go. I need to go start supper. We have baby raccoons. That's a whole long story. Just keep watching my stories and fill you in with that. So, all right. See you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.